Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about season 2 and sort of wrap that up. I am one of your hosts, Barb, and I'm joined by Matt.
Hey, guys.
If you're enjoying the show, please remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
All right, guys. So, in case you did not notice, we had 2 episodes of the podcast drop today. The one you're listening to now, the first one is going to be our season 2 review and wrap up episode. We're going to discuss everything with season 2. And the second episode that we are releasing is our Psych 3 This Is Gus review. In that review, we're going to do it just how we did with the regular episodes. We're going to watch it. We're going to point out things that we think are interesting or extra funny. We're going to do our wrap-ups the same as usual. So make sure you check that out. But first, before we get to the actual review and pointing out our favorites, we're going to go over a couple of emails we got. We got 2 new emails that we wanted to share with you guys. So Barb, do you want to go ahead and read the first one?
Okay, our first email is from D. Scully, who is actually Mary from Florida. Hi, Mary. Dear Matthew and Barb, hey guys, great show as always, except I'm flabbergasted that Matthew hasn't seen Psych, the musical. You need to get on that now because it's hilarious. I also can't believe you didn't describe the best part of Shaun and Gus of the Dead, which is when Henry gets up in Shaun's face and asks if he's busy on Saturday, and Shaun says, "You want me to go with you to awkward class?"
Yeah.
That part always gets me because of how mumbly Henry is. I can't wait for your review of the movie. I thought it was the best so far. Season 2 was definitely one of the best seasons and has several episodes I watch frequently. To go back to Black and Tan, Emily Bloom had a New Zealand accent, and that is why Lasseter called her Kiwi. Also, I thought Shaun's flirting with her was cute. Sorry, Barb. Till next time, Mary from Florida. Mary, thank you as always. You had some good points in there.
Yeah, Psych musical. It's on the list now. We will do a review of it. We'll do a watch and review of it. So just hang in there. I just really don't like musicals, but I'm hoping that Psych will offset the balance.
I recently learned that Steve Franks wrote all of the music and songs for that movie, so I really do
Okay.
it made me want to see it again even more. I have seen it before, but it made me want to see it again even more knowing that he wrote everything.
And yes, that one episode where Shaun or the Shaun and Gus of the Dead where Henry like gets up on Shaun's like shoulder essentially, it is super awkward and funny to see like Henry like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Mary. You have written in several emails, and we always appreciate that. We love when we can hear what other people have to say about this. And you will see coming up very shortly how we both felt about season 2.
Yep.
Matt, you have another one?
Yes, on our YouTube channel, we got another email from Michael or a comment from Michael Holst.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
him in here. This is on Shaun and Gus of the Dead, season 2, episode 16. And here's his message. This episode is a complete package. No one thing in this episode is exceptional in my opinion, but everything is good from start to finish. I love how they tie in so many storylines from the main case to Lassie's case, to the dinosaur people, to the chief situation, and foreshadowing of Shaun's mom coming. Very well done by Steve Franks. I also agree with you that this isn't an episode that I remember from the title, but I thoroughly enjoyed it every time I watch it. The 11-point turn is one of my favorite moments from Psych, and I love the scene of Gus tracking Shaun in the cameras and their argument over cell phone minutes. Good choice of pineapple rating, Matt. Also, I hope you enjoy the musical. I love it, but I know some psychos that don't. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to wait and see on the musical. Like, yeah. I know it's kind of I know that it's weird that I haven't seen it when I host this like podcast and have seen all the shows, all the episodes countless
Multiple times.
times, and have review parties for whenever a new movie comes out. So believe me, I'm aware of the irony there. So it is on the roster. We will watch it
I
at some
think it's
point.
just because you don't generally like musicals.
Yeah. I mean, Grease was on the other night whenever we came over for Christmas, and it's
Matthew had a
appalling. I
had a
don't
very
like
bad
it.
attitude about it. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
he had a bad attitude.
But
There was eye rolling.
I'm
There was
I don't have the same attitude for Psych. I can't imagine that I'll have the same opinion of the Psych musical. I can't. I
I would
think it'll
hope
be
not.
fine. I think at the very least it'll be fine.
It's funny. It's like,
Okay,
because
well,
it's like, so just it's just funny.
we'll see.
Their humor in song, and they're not all, fantastic singers, so it's funny.
We
So,
will see.
yeah.
But
I don't know.
yes, Michael, thanks again for messaging Jen. Yeah, 11-point turn. We'll get into that later in this episode.
Can I
And
add something to
sure.
what he said in his email? Is, to me, he like nail on the head about that episode,
Mhm.
because
All the
really and
tie-ins.
truly, yeah, I don't think that we really talked about that a lot. We may have, I don't
Well, there
think
was
we,
a lot of stuff we talked about in that
but
episode, and we
it
didn't try to not go too long.
there, it was so packed with things. That
It
episode
was.
really had so much in it, and that's exactly what he was pointing out. It was filled. Like how Steve Franks fit all of that in such a little funny package. I mean, bravo.
Mhm.
It was good. So,
Even
good point
even
out.
just now, when I was looking back at all the 5 pineapple ratings that I gave to see, like,
Mhm.
which ones were the top ones, I again, for, like, a quarter of a second, like, "Wait, what is that episode about? Shaun and Gus of the Dead." And it's
Mhm.
because there's a couple out there that are, like, scary episodes or, like, spooky ones,
Yeah.
and I just gotta remember which one. I guess it's also because it reminds me a lot of, like, I think it's the last episode from the last season or the second to last one where there's literally, like, zombies in it, when Gus is freaking out. That's
Mhm.
immediate what I go to when I think of Shaun of the Dead or Shaun and Gus of the Dead, so
Yeah, I just don't
mm,
think that one was appropriately named.
yeah.
It could have been like, you know,
I don't even wanna get
a
into what it
play
could
on,
have been
like, Night
named,
at the
but
Museum. Well, no,
that's
like a play
actually a
on Night at the
fantastic
Museum,
idea.
which would have
Mhm.
been good. Like, I feel
Yep.
like they should have done something like that instead of Shaun and Gus of the Dead. I don't know, personally, I think
Night
that
in
would have
the
been a better.
Egyptian, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
was
or
it the
like
Egyptian
Case
mummy
at the
ring?
Museum, or like
Mhm.
something like that would have made
Curse
it
of the
more
Mummy,
identifiable with the actual episode, but that's just me.
Sean Spencer and the
Yeah.
Curse of
What
the
do I
Mummy.
know, you know?
No, yeah. I don't know. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Thanks again, Michael, for being a constant listener and checking out our YouTube videos. So
Mhm.
hope you enjoy the show still.
All right, are we ready to dive in to our wrap up of season 2?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so we're very excited that we are wrapping up a second season. This season was a good one. We've got some general information about you, for you guys first, about like our statistics based on our thoughts about the episode. Matt, why don't you tell us what our stats were here?
All right. So we keep track of all of our reviews as well as a bunch of other details. So for season 2, um, my average pineapple rating was 3.56 and Barb's was 3.56.
Which is crazy because we did not give all the episodes the
Wow.
same pineapple rating, but we ended up right at the same place.
That was unintentional, I assure you. My lowest rated pineapple, one pineapple review was I have two of them, Psy versus Psy and Robabai Baby. And my highest rated episodes, 5 pineapples, was American Duos, Zero to Murder in 60 Seconds, Lights, Camera, Homicidio, and Shaun and Gus of the Dead.
And
Barb, what are
my
your lowest and highest?
Okay, so my lowest rating was for Psy versus Psy. That's the only one I only gave one pineapple to. But I have in parentheses here that I'm giving a shout out to something about Mira, because in hindsight, for me, that may have deserved only a one.
Wow.
Yeah, I really
Wow.
didn't. I don't like Mira.
Throwing
Um,
shade. Okay.
well, I mean, it is what it is.
Hmm.
I did not like her.
All right.
Okay, so my
Highest rated?
highest, my highest rated, these were all 5 pineapples for me. American Duos, 65 million years off, Zero to Murder in 60 Seconds, Lights, a Camera, Homicidio, Black and Tan, A Crime of Fashion, and Shaun and Gus of the Dead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nothing's respectable.
Yeah. So out of
But yeah, out of a total of 80 pineapples that were to be awarded for season 2, I gave 57 and Barb gave out 57. I
that is
promise
crazy.
this was not planned.
No,
And if you look at our sheets, our ratings are not the same. It
no,
just so happened that we gave out the same number of each rating in different orders.
exactly.
So I really wanted that to be more interesting and eventful. Like, I was definitely expecting you to have a lot more, because I think that's what happened in season 1, is I felt like you gave out a lot more higher star reviews and I gave out a lot more lowers.
Yeah, your
So, I was
average was like
expecting
2
that.
point something for season 1.
But you know what this means, though? This
What?
means that we both love season 2 equally.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just
Season 2
different
was so
parts.
good. Okay, let's talk about a
Mhm.
couple of specific things. Matt, what were your favorite episodes?
Favorite episodes, American Duos, for so many reasons.
Mhm.
Zero to Murder in 60 Seconds, and The Old and the Restless. And then I also got to tip my hat to Gus's Dad May Have Killed an Old Guy and Black and Tan Crime of Fashion. I
Okay.
those last two were just ones that like I think of, and maybe the Gus's Dad May Have Killed an Old Guy because it's Christmassy themed, and that always
Yeah.
is a nice thing. And Black and Tan and Crime of Fashion, there's so much in that that's just funny little jokes. Uh,
Yeah.
give it 5 stars. It's still 4 on my list, and that's pretty good. So,
I
Barb, what
have
about
well, this is a really hard one for me because there are so many in season 2
you?
that are so good. American Duos is way up there.
Yeah. Mhm.
When I think of Psych and a couple of my very favorites, though, I really think all these episodes, I'm just gonna have to tie it up. All of the ones that I said are my favorites, like that I gave 5 pineapples, I
No, we
they're kind
can't
of a
do no,
tie.
no, we both have to pick one. I have to do American Duos out of mine,
Oh my
with a close
gosh.
second being The Old and the Restless. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, The Old and the Restless, that's a good one too, but that one wasn't a 5 pineapple for me. Zero to Murder in 60 Seconds. I gotta give that one is way up there. Oh gosh, Black and Tan. I can't pick just one. All 5 of those are up there for me. I cannot pick just one, I'm sorry. I can't
Mhm,
do it.
mhm. Okay,
I
alright. Just wait and
cannot
see what the
do
fans say. You
it.
can't give 5 favorite episodes. Okay. Alright, well, guys, I'm sorry that Barb could not give her favorite episode, and she gives it
Wow.
5 a 5. I gave at least 3 with 2 as, like, side action, like, those are the runners up. 5,
I'm
wow.
sorry.
Okay.
I just can't. There
Alright.
are too many really amazingly good ones in this episode, or in this season rather, and I just can't. I
Okay.
can't.
Alright. Well, okay. Alright, so let's get more specific here, and let's talk about our favorite scenes from
Okay.
season 2.
I
Now,
have
again,
them.
these don't have to be from these previously specified episodes, although they probably will be. Um, so why don't we take turns, each doing one? Um,
Okay.
so one that is one of my favorites is the opening scene from The Old and the Restless. Well, not really the opening. It's the opening before the theme song comes in, when they have tricked Henry into being a part of their plan, and they're like Sean's walking in, Henry and Gus are following him, and they
Yes.
have this like setup where like Gus grabs the hat,
Yes.
Sean grabs the cane, he dumps the coffee on him, and Henry like
Uh-huh.
steps in there spinning around confused, like what's going on? And he's like, "This is my grandpapa, Talmadge McGooliger." It was so perfect.
That's
It
a
was
good
an
one.
amazing scene that I always remember.
That's
So
so
I
good,
love that part.
Matt.
Mhm.
That's so good. Okay. My first one is the 11-point turn. Like,
I hate to take the same one as you, but that's definitely one of mine too.
can I just
It's
tell
such
you
an awesome scene.
this one also like goes into real life for me. I have a 17-year-old who I have been teaching to drive. And I swear to you the other day, she was turning and I was like, "Wow, Emma, the 11-point turn." And he was like, "Shut up."
Mhm. Yep.
Because this one can be so, I don't know, it's so good. It's so funny. This is a
Another
company
one.
car, Sean. I mean, like, I
Mhm.
can't. I can't. I love that episode. That whole scene is just so funny.
Mhm. Another one for me would definitely be Zero to Murder in 60 Seconds. When Gus is driving the Blueberry for the first time after it's like, "My car!" And then it goes to him, like, driving it, and it's got was it the hip hop music playing? And he's just like, Sean is just completely in the moment, enjoying it. Yeah, he's doing his, like, best, like, Vin Diesel, Shaw like, Paul Walker. from Fast and Furious, and Gus is just not having it. And then at the end, they throw in that little part where Sean turns down the music while Gus is yelling at him, and he's like, "Yes, I'll be naked and unashamed," while they rub little Sean down. Like, it just topped off the whole thing. It's such a funny scene, and I remember it, and I get excited every time for it.
Okay, so I have one from the same episode,
Mhm.
but for me is when they unveil the tricked out blueberry.
My
When
car.
they take every single time I see that episode, every time I have to stop it or I'm laughing so hard I can't hear what they're saying right afterward.
Mhm.
Because just seeing that little car with those yellow flames on it and like the whole thing, I just can't.
Oh,
That
so
one
to make sure the
that
Jeep
one
was safe.
gets me.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right, so I have to
Johnny G's.
also
What's the G stand for? So, yeah.
That's
That's
so
another good
funny.
scene. That's another
It's
good
so
scene.
good. So that one really makes it up there for me. Also in Black and Tan, when
Mm,
they're all walking down the street and
okay.
it's like slow motion and like that was a great scene. And then okay, I noticed you're out of them, so I'm gonna keep going with my next one.
I
In
mean,
the
I
Bounty,
was told we were doing 3, so
well,
again,
I
while
had
breaking
to
the
add
rules,
one.
always you might as well add 2, go for 5
Listen,
on each one,
I
just saying.
wow, I'm a rule breaker. It's what I
Mhm.
am. I'm a
Yep.
rebel. Anyway.
Mhm.
Anyone who knows me knows that is so not true. Um, okay. The episode Bounty Hunters, at the end of it, when Sean and Jules have that moment where they're talking and they're right up in each other's faces, and it's like you want them to
Super
kiss each
awkward.
other. You want them to kiss each other and they don't. And it was like that. Love that scene. That scene just sort of laid the foundation for what is to come. I love that scene.
I thought it was super awkward, but, if it's your favorite, it's your favorite.
I liked it. I think they needed more moments like that, not fewer. I mean, listen, if we're trying to establish how they feel about each other, come on. It's just come on, son. They got to do it. Okay, next up we are going to talk about little bits from season 2 that maybe for me, I like that this season the blueberry got its name from Nigel St. Nigel sitting in the back seat and he says, "I feel like I've been incarcerated inside a giant blueberry." That is great because moving forward they called it the blueberry and that happened in this season too. It was great.
Hmm.
What about you, Matt? Any favorite bits from season 2?
I mean, some of the names were really funny.
Talmadge McGuire.
Yeah, Talmadge McGuire was an awesome one. There was a couple other really good ones though. Scooney U-Turn Singleton,
Oh, Gus
Galileo
TT
Humpkins,
Showbiz.
Ovaltine Jenkins, like
Gus TT Showbiz.
Lavender Gooms. Some of my favorite ones now that I'm seeing it, now that I'm thinking about it. Uh,
Knick Knack.
there's a lot of. Oh, I mean, yeah, Knick Knack is another great one. Yeah, there was a lot. This one, so that was probably definitely one of my favorite bits off the top of my head that I'm thinking about.
And Gus, don't be a rabid porcupine.
Yeah, there was a couple of don't be's in this one. That
Don't
was
be
a
a
bit that
traveling
started in
Wilbury.
season 2. I mean, we got a lot of our things started in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the nicknames they had in season 1, but there wasn't as many of them. From what I recall, there was only 3. So, yeah, they definitely stepped up their nickname game in this season.
I like that they also continued some from season 1, like the Magic Head. They brought that into season 2 as
Mhm.
well. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like things just sort of like whatever they used, they sort of let go of. They didn't.
Hmm.
They kept it going. Gus TT Showbiz.
Yep.
Extra T is for extra talent.
All right. All right. So now we get a little negative here. What is our least liked
Ooh.
episode? And what I'm talking about here is this episode. If you had season 2 only, what episode would you just like scratch off the disc if you could? Okay.
Something
Like,
about Mira.
really?
Something about Mira.
All right. I'm
Bye-bye.
going Rabba Baby. I really hate Rabba Baby. I
At
don't
least
like
there
that
was some
episode at all.
humor in Rob-a-Bye Baby when they're in the park and stuff like that.
I
There
didn't
was
even
just
think that
nothing
scene
I
was
like about
incredible. Like, I thought that it was,
um,
like, the only redeeming part of it, but the chief was all stressed, Lassie was all stressed, nobody worked together, I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it.
oh, but something about
Mm.
Mira, Kerry Washington
I think
for
that
an
there was a
hour?
couple funny
Ugh.
parts, and I have no problem with Kerry Washington. So,
Oh, no.
mhm.
No, it was so bothersome. And her
um,
flightiness and just I cannot stand that character. I don't like how they wrote her. I cannot stand that character. I
mhm.
can't I will bypass that one every time. Eh. No.
Mm.
No Mira. Bye, Mira. Bye, Mira.
All right. Now here's one that we added this time that we didn't do for the first one, mainly because there weren't really any guest stars. So,
Yeah.
Barb, what was your favorite guest star for season 2?
Well, I gotta go Tim Curry as Nigel St. Nigel.
I mean, that one I think should almost be removed just because it was so good. Like it's the obvious answer. So
All
aside
right,
from
so
Tim Curry,
my
because he
less
steals the show really, and he gave us the blueberry, like,
and he gave
yeah,
us the I feel like an angel baby wrapped in a
swaddled,
cloud of or
swaddled in a
swaddled
cloud of cotton
in a
candy.
candy cloud or something. Oh my gosh, that was great line.
Hmm.
Great line.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we can't count Tim Curry, then I'm gonna go Ernie Hudson as Gus's dad.
I love that, and
Mhm.
also love the woman they got for his mother. I can't remember her name right
Alicia
now.
Rashad.
Yes, I do love both of them. I do think
Yeah.
that they are very well casted,
Mhm.
and they like whenever he's like, whenever they're at the Thanksgiving or the Christmas table, and he's like, "That's $100, boy." Like it felt like it was something that he was like. It felt like such a good dad moment. Like I'm giving you a gift, take it.
I'm
Oh no,
sad that he didn't come back as Gus's dad again.
yeah,
That because he was really good as Gus's dad. I liked him.
yeah, he was. I like both of them.
Mm.
But
Who was your favorite?
my favorite is Saul Rubenek. Now, you might also remember that I loved him in Warehouse 13, but I assure you there is no favoritisms here. All right.
And we just
I
established
loved
that he played the writer in Lights, Camera,
Lights, Camera,
Homicidio.
Homicidio. I was getting there. I was getting there. So
Well,
yeah,
I you
he
kept
was the
talking
main
about
writer
him.
for Lights, Camera, Homicidio, and I loved, and I believe I mentioned this in the episode. I loved his rapport with Sean. I
Mhm.
thought that they had this great, like, silliness and extravagance with each other. I mean, a perfect scene of it was the scene but when they were in the jail, the fake jail, and he, like, put his hands on the glass, and they, like, touched hands through the glass whenever he was getting arrested. Like, they were such good friends. It was I would love if he had another part, or if they maybe something else was happening on set on a different show he was writing for. Or maybe if they did one in the future where Chad came back, I just
I
would I loved that relationship.
I wonder if they sort of based that off of James Roday Rodriguez and Steve Frank's relationship because they very like quickly bonded that way and like trusted each other about the show, and that's sort of what happened on that episode with the two of them. I think that's an interesting takeaway from that. Maybe there's a little bit of a correlation between the two.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I haven't really seen them together too much except for the occasional interview or something like that, but I've never really seen them too much
Well,
next
I
to each
mean, like
other.
in
But
hearing other
I
people talk
believe it.
about them.
I believe it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
Mhm. But
Hmm.
yeah, that was my favorite. My that was my favorite guest star.
That
I
was a
mean,
good
there
one.
was definitely lots of good ones though. Some like call outs. We had John Amos as Gus's uncle.
Hmm.
We had Lou Diamond Phillips, who was great as
Yes.
the FBI agent. We also had who else did we have here? Kevin Sorbo as the bounty hunter,
Hmm.
and
He was almost my choice,
mhm,
but I
yeah,
didn't like his character so much, so that's why I didn't pick him.
that's part of it. That's part of it.
Yep.
Yep. But yeah, so there's lots of great ones to call back to. So yeah, if you guys had one, I would love to hear what you guys had for all of these questions. I
Yeah.
would love to know what everybody else thought. So definitely send us an email or post in our chat or something whenever we drop this episode. Let
Or
us
let us
know.
know if you agree with our takes on this season.
Yep. Yeah. What's your lowest rated episode? Your highest rated episode? Just one, Barb. Don't give like
Hey.
five. Then we also want to know your favorite episode, maybe one or two of your favorite scenes. Did you have a favorite bit, least liked episode, as well as your favorite guest star? Let us know. We're very curious about this stuff.
Okay, so Matt, here's a question. How does season 2 compare to season 1 for you?
Oh, it's not even like in the same category.
No
I
contest,
mean,
right?
season 2 is incredible. And this there is a very big distinction here between season 1 and 2 because again, in 1 they were developing the show. The first couple episodes there was lots of changes. They were figuring out what people liked about it. So there is a stark difference here. I'm very curious about what we're going to think about the difference between 2 and 3.
Mhm.
But between 1 and 2, without a doubt, there was far more episodes in 2 that were better. There was a lot more bits, there was a lot more jokes, a lot more guest stars. They just went above and beyond for 2, and they did a really great job of figuring out what people liked about 1 and what they liked about 1, and just kicked it up a notch.
I have to agree with you. For me, it was so much better. I feel like the show hit its stride in season 2. Like the characters were established and I mean, which you would expect, but the characters were established. You have a lot of relationships building and you're learning a lot about past things that have happened. And like for me, they've kind of hit that funny stride where like the chemistry between all of them has really come out.
Mhm.
And it also, like, you can tell at this point that they are having fun off camera too. Like,
Yeah.
that they have good relationships off camera that is, like, coming through on camera. And I just feel like they hit their stride. Season 2 is, like, the start of the beauty that is Psych.
Yeah, the actors and the characters all have chemistry,
Yes.
and it seems like they're able to give that same chemistry to their guest stars.
Yeah,
I
I
I'm
agree.
I am very curious how the guest star things works. If they just put out a wide net and be like, "Does anybody wanna be on this?" Or if they have, like, specific people. I know there's a Tim Curry one specifically they made for him. Like, they were thinking about
Mhm.
that for him, and I'm very curious about some of these other ones, just, like, how they get this great chemistry with all these people.
Well,
So
I have an answer for you about that a little bit because I listened recently to another episode of The Psychologists Are In, and they were interviewing John Ross Bowie,
mm,
who played the dentist in Weekend Warriors
okay.
from season 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I remember him.
Yes, he also went on to play in Big Bang Theory. He had like a recurring role in Big Bang Theory, and he starred in Speechless as well, another comedy show. But turns out he read for the part of Gus and
Kripke.
almost got it.
Yeah, Kripke.
Gary or Barry
Yeah.
Kripke, yes.
You almost got the
Um,
part of Gus?
he almost got the part of Gus. He read for Gus and
Wow.
almost got that part and enjoyed ad-libbing with James Roday Rodriguez. So very interesting. If you haven't listened to that episode,
Huh.
I would listen to that one. It might be my favorite episode that they've done so far. And he talked a little bit about it because he had read for Gus and had been there. They told him, "We want you in something," and they put him in like what I think that was episode 5 of season 1.
Mhm.
Um, but
Weekend
but
Warriors.
yes, and so he was in it. He goes, "It didn't take them much time at all." He goes, "To actually put me in an episode." And I loved what they did. So
Mhm.
he was very he even well, they talked about the fact that he believes that the reason they got so many great guest stars on that show was because of how the cast always made the guest stars feel. It didn't
Mhm.
feel like going to other shows and guest starring. It felt
Yeah.
very different. Everything was very inclusive and the cast was amazing with the guest stars. So I
Mhm.
think that opened up a lot of that for having such great guest stars, which actually brings me to my thing I'm looking forward to. We're going to talk next about what are we looking forward to in season 3. And part of what I'm looking so forward to is the list of great guest stars we have coming up. There's Sybil Shepherd, Jane Lynch, Steven Weber, Alan Ruck, Gary Cole. That's just to name a few of the season 3 guest stars. There's a lot of great ones coming up.
Yes. I mean, I've got the list here for season 3. So a couple episodes just
Mhm.
going down the
Oh,
list here.
Ali Sheedy.
Ali Sheedy.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so going down the list for season 3, episodes that just without me thinking about it too hard. Murder Anyone Bueller. Great
Yes.
episode. Episode 2. Um Disco Didn't Die, It Was Murdered. I liked that one. I think that one was I think that one was good for lots of reasons. I think there was some really funny parts in there, as well as good backstory for Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see Henry, Sean, and Gus all working together. I love that. There might be blood. I thought it was actually a funny one. I don't think it's going to be like one of my top ones, but I
No,
thought it was
I don't love
funny,
that one.
and you get some backstory with the sister, or with the chief and her sister.
Yeah.
Talk Derby to me. I know you're going to love that one because of how it ends.
Yeah.
Gus
I
walks
love
into a bank.
I
Another fun
love
one.
Gus walks into a bank.
Hmm.
I'm really excited about that one.
Christmas Joy. We got our
Yeah.
Christmas episode, and that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
6 Feet Under the Sea. That one's funny for a couple of reasons. But yeah, like there's really so many like really good ones in this one
Yeah.
coming up. So
And then the last episode of season 3, An Evening with Mr. Yang.
well, you just skipped Tuesday the 17th.
Oh, I'm so what?
That's episode 15, and
What
then
was I
Evening with
thinking?
Mr. Yang. Yeah, both of those fantastic episodes, and Evening with Mr. Yang specifically will stand out just because of how it gives you a serious tone finally, and it's very cool.
Well, and it's also the start of things to
So,
come, so it's very interesting.
but it's also a challenge for Sean. It is
Yes.
something that's not just like, oh, I'm just walking through doing what I want to, playing a Game
Yeah.
Boy while I solve a crime. Like it is good. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm very excited for all of these. There's so many episodes. Tuesday the 17th, especially. I don't know if it's because I'm not like a huge horror fan, and maybe having like a comedic, like lower edge of horror makes it
Mhm.
more entertaining for me. But I really love Tuesday the 17th. I can watch it over and over again. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to look forward to in season 3. I think I'm really looking forward to Sean's mom because we've ended season 2 with him opening the door, and I'm very excited to see that dynamic a little bit. I'm excited to see more Sean and Jules stuff. There are some serious 80s nods with some of those episodes.
Oh yeah,
The Ferris Bueller, I mean, come on.
so
It's
many.
yeah, so many. So I'm very excited about those things. Are you anything else specific that you're looking forward to?
I mean, I don't want to get too specific. I don't really want to point out any specific scenes that I really love or anything like that,
No.
just because I want to save that for the episodes. But just looking over this roster of episodes, guest stars, bits, awesome
Mhm.
names, really funny stories, good character
Yeah.
development spread out across this really is going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see how many 5-star episodes we have this next scene compared to season 2. Season
Mhm.
2 and 3 were the first DVD box sets that I owned. So I would essentially just watch them back to back and then start over. Watch them back to back and start over. And like these are ones that I've seen a lot and I really enjoy them. Like it was
Yeah.
just really good. I picked those 2
Yeah.
for a reason. When I got
Well,
them.
I think too, like, there was almost an excitement in these earlier seasons where like it was still kind of fresh to them because they only did like 16 episodes a season, so it's
Mhm.
not like you had them on the set for 26 24 weeks out of the year. It wasn't kind of like that. So I think it was still like really kind of exciting and things were a little fresher. And as you get to the later seasons, there are some amazing episodes. Do not get me wrong. But like I feel like season 2 and 3 was like golden
Mhm.
for them. So, well,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm curious to see how it ranks against season 2. So, well, we hope you've enjoyed going through this season as much as we have. This has been like one of our favorites. And we really do look forward to seeing any comments that you guys have about it. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, whatever, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for listening to us all the way through. Definitely leave us some comments and let us know. Stay tuned or hit next because that's going to be our Psych 3. This is Gus watch and review. So
Hmm.
check it out with us. And again, let us know what you think about that movie.
Yep, you can visit us on our Facebook group and our subreddit, and all those links will be posted below. And email us at thepsychpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, guys, thanks for joining us. Have a great week.
Have a great week.